Hi, I'm Louise, and I am the dietitian at WellWorks at Ohio University, and I am also a Reiki practitioner. I am so happy that you showed your interest in Reiki, and I'd like to talk to you just a little bit about it today to give you some information. So Reiki is a Japanese healing modality that has been in the United States since probably the 1940s. The word Reiki means universal life force energy. So the first part of the word Rei means that universal, that all-encompassing. It's a very big word. And the word Ki is the life force energy. And in China, that would be Qi. In India, that would be prana. A lot of Christians will say the Holy Ghost or the Holy Spirit. And I also like to say that for the Jedis, it's the Force. But it really is the same thing. It's that all-encompassing life force energy that literally gives us life and connects us all, because we are all energy. Everything around us is energy. So with Reiki, what the practitioner does is channel that Reiki energy and pass it on to the client. And in that, it promotes healing. So how does that work? Well, when I do Reiki, I typically do not touch, I hover. So I can hover over the person like this and I can feel their energy. And you can actually feel it from quite a distance. In doing that, I can channel the energy to certain areas of the client, but I can also get an overall feel of maybe where they've got some stagnant energy or maybe where there's some blockages that we can help to move that energy through. So when you're in a state of what we call coherence, and that is when the body and the heart really are in sync, and that energy flow is just really perfect through the body. And in that state, you cannot be in dis-ease, so you cannot be ill. Now, obviously, we don't live in that state of coherence, but the goal really is to try to get as close to it as you can, because that's where you're going to have the most wellness. So that is what Reiki does. It helps to reestablish that coherence. So Reiki works on a different level. It really works for the mind, the body, and the spirit. So it truly is holistic in that it works on the whole body. Now, people ask me if there's any contraindications to Reiki, and I will tell you absolutely there are none. You may hear some people say that it can't be used on a broken bone because the bone may heal too quickly and it won't set correctly, or it can't be used if someone has a pacemaker or if someone has diabetes. None of that is true. Because Reiki is divine energy, it's also intelligent energy. So it knows what the client needs, and it also can do no harm. So always remember that with Reiki. It can do no harm. So anybody can partake in it. The other thing that people ask me is about religion. Does Reiki clash with any religious beliefs? And again, I tell you, absolutely not. Reiki is pure divine energy. So any religion can partake in it, because any religion, every religion believes in that divine energy. And that's all it is. So I'm not transferring energy to you. You are not transferring energy to me. I consider myself the middleman. So I'm like a straw, and I pull all that Reiki energy in and fill myself up. And once I'm full, then the spill comes out of my hands directly to the client. So what would you experience when you're having a Reiki session? Well, honestly, it is very different for everybody. I've worked on probably close to 100 clients by now, and nobody's ever disappointed, and their experiences are typically never the same. One thing I can always guarantee is that you will feel very relaxed. Most people come out of the Reiki session saying like, oh, I'm so relaxed. I feel like I had a massage, like just very relaxed. I have never had somebody finish a Reiki session and say like, yeah, it was okay. Doesn't happen. Everybody is just super relaxed. And what other kind of things could you feel? Well, some people feel heat, some people feel cold, some people feel like waves going through them. Some people feel like they're heavy and other people feel like they're floating. Some people see colors or hear sounds. I've had clients who see loved ones who've passed away. It's just very different for everybody. Some people will feel like bubbles bursting all over them. Some people will feel pressure in certain areas. And again, I don't touch, so that's all energy that they're feeling. So again, it's very different for everybody, but it's always very relaxing. So let's talk about that piece and again, how Reiki works. So if you've ever meditated, then you understand kind of getting in that, like, we'll say lower level of consciousness almost, right? Almost like you're sleeping. So Reiki pushes you down into an even deeper level. So you are super relaxed. And when you're in that state, actually I had someone say it to me perfectly the other day. When you're in that state, you have time to spend time with yourself. And that's something that we don't typically get to do. And I thought that was brilliant. That really is a perfect way to describe it. And when you're in that super relaxed state, you're not bringing anything forward with you. So you're not bringing with you the stress of the day or the neck pain that you have or the back pain that you have or hopefully the grocery list. You're not worrying about things. So in that relaxed state, even for that hour, you are getting closer to that coherence. And that is where true healing begins. So what does healing mean? Well, again, it's very different for everyone, but typically it does not mean that if you have a cold, you're going to come in and Reiki's going to cure you from the cold. It's not how it works. It works on a much deeper level. So let me give you an example. So say you come and you've been having headaches and you want help with the headaches. So I give you a Reiki session. You feel great. Your headache's gone away because you're so relaxed. The next day, you have a headache again. And you think, oh, that Reiki, it did not work. But then you start to notice little things like, I'm not as stressed as I had been, or my boss isn't getting under my skin the way they were. I'm not yelling at my kids like I was before. I'm sleeping better. And then I haven't had a headache in a week. So that's how it works, okay? So it really does work on yourself so that yourself can promote healing. A lot of my clients will say to me after a few sessions that they feel like themselves again, and they hadn't felt that way in a really long time. So I think that's an amazing piece of feedback to hear. People will tell me that they sleep better, that they have more vivid dreams. I had one client that I was seeing, and I saw him 5 weeks in a row, so 5 times once a week. And he came to me and said, like, I need help. I'm super stressed. I'm snapping at my wife. I feel like I'm not doing my job the way I should. So he wanted those 5 sessions. And at the end, excuse me, he said that he had been sleeping better than he had slept in years. And he also said that he basically had lightened up so much that his wife thought he was having an affair, which was funny. I said, please bring her to meet me so she understands that this is just Reiki. But I just thought it was a really good example of what kind of healing it promoted. Now, I have seen it do physical healing. It does for you what you need. So I always tell people, do not be tied to an outcome because you don't really know what you need, but the universe does, right? And Reiki does. So it will give you exactly what you need. And whenever I do a session, I always start by saying that I'm asking for healing for the participant's highest good. Because again, I don't know what that highest good is, and you don't always know what that highest good is. But Reiki is an intelligent energy, so it does know what your highest good is, and it knows exactly where it should go. Another example that I'll give you is if you think about planting a seed. right? So you plant a seed because you want to grow a flower, but a lot has to happen under the ground before that flower can bloom. And that's really how Reiki works. There has to be a lot of healing inside, so emotional healing and maybe spiritual healing for you. Stress relief, like those kind of things can really help the body get into a better place that it can physically heal. So that's how Reiki works. So I am super excited that we're going to be offering this at WellWorks because it really is a great part of wellness. And like I said earlier, holistic wellness, because it really treats the whole person. So you can schedule a 1-hour session with me by going onto our website, and you can find the link on there. Once you pay for it, so it's $60 for a 1-hour visit. Once you pay for it, you will get my email, which is easy. It's Cruz, CRUZL, at ohio.edu. And reach out to me and I will schedule an appointment for you, okay? Something that fits into both of our schedules. So Reiki can be done in person, right at WellWorks, in the massage room, or we can do it at a distance. So we can connect over Teams, we can even connect over the phone, whatever works best for you, and I can send you Reiki that way. So how does Reiki work at a distance? It just does. It really just does. But in the world of energy, there's no time and space. So if you think about the new telescope, right, that's taking all those amazing pictures, you're seeing stars that may have burned out like billions of years ago. So that's a really good example of how there's no time and space, okay? So that's how energy works. And in the realm of physics, they actually can show that a particle that's here can affect a particle that's like millions of miles away. Don't ask me how it works. I can't understand it. And even Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. So that's how distance Reiki works. It's spooky action at a distance. But basically, I send you the energy with the intention that you receive it for your highest good, and you receive it. And I do distance Reiki with a lot of clients that I personally have, and they love it. They can feel the sensation. They receive the healing the same way they would if they were in person. So I do say that because anywhere that you are, you can receive it. If you cannot come into WellWorks, that is not a problem. You can still receive Reiki, okay? If you have any questions, you can always shoot me an email. Again, it's CRUZL at ohio.edu. But I hope you schedule a session so that you can experience it for yourself. Thank you for joining me today.